Joe and Tom from Drunken to the Sun.
Another funky funk, drunk episode coming to you courtesy of Drunken to the Sun. Anything in life's work could have been ahead of you. Tom and Joe from Drunken to the Sun.
Join us every week on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Spotify.
Yeah. Podcast that's about anything and everything under the sun.
Check it out.
Joe's drunk.
Yeah, we both are fucking drunk.
Stop it. Hey, what up, y'all? This is Drunken to the Sun with Joe and Tom. Guess what? It's that time. That funky funk, that drunky drunk. The Drunken to the Sun. Yep. So the podcast about anything and everything under the sun. Be sure to check, like, subscribe, all that bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
We're here. We're not live.
Not live.
Whatever.
You like to say we're live.
I know. I don't know why. Because I feel like I'm like a real show. So, anyways. So, this week...
A real show?
Anyways. So, fucking... yeah. So, this week, we're coming at you with some... It's probably going to be fucking out of world, bizarre, crazy,
usually
bonkers shit. It's something Joe loves to talk about, and I just love to make fun of. So, it's whatever this is.
It's whatever this is.
Joe, take it away.
Actually, here recently, I've watched a lot of shows on two shows, not a lot, 2 shows on PBS that were about the human mind and how it works. And some of the shit was just blowing me away. For instance...
This wasn't pre-Bible school, right?
What are you, Bible school?
PBS?
No.
Pre-Bible school?
No.
PBS?
Public broadcasting.
Oh, gotcha.
No.
Okay.
So,
anyways.
But they had these 2 shows. Hacking the Human Mind is the one I'm talking about first.
Hacking the human mind?
Hacking the human mind, like...
How do they do that?
I don't know. It's just like basically telling you about the mind and how it works. Huh. They broke it down into like your mind has 2 different sections, a fast thinking side and the more calculating slow side. And most of your day is run by this fast thinking mind. But I don't know why I told you that.
I don't either. But, I thought you was going somewhere with this fast-thinking mind.
But it does.
Apparently, Joe's on his slow-thinking mind.
No, if I was on my slow-thinking mind, I would be slower and know what I'm talking about.
So your fast-paced mind's kicking in. It's just like tripping over his steps, tripping over his feet.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Going so goddamn fast-paced.
But no, it had some interesting things because your fast-thinking mind bases a lot of things on your bias and preferences. Oh. And they did this study. They did 2 studies. One involving kids that were like 10 and younger. And they would show them these t-shirts. Be like, okay, which t-shirt do you want to wear? This red one or this green one? And they would pick one, and then they would show them these flashcards with drawings of kids on them, and ask them just simple questions like, who's more likely to help you? Who's going to share their ice cream? And every time they would pick the person with the same color shirt that they were wearing. Yeah, they picked it and wore it. And so it was like we were team-oriented. Like, this guy's wearing the same shirt as I am. He's on my team.
Right.
And they translated that stuff later with, like, adults. They did a study in Oakland in a police department.
Nice.
And they did body cam footage and... dash cam footage.
Yeah.
And 2/3 of the time, they could tell if the officer was talking to a black person or a white person.
Really?
Yeah.
Without seeing the person?
Without seeing the person.
Huh.
They could just see by how the officer talked to them, what race they were talking to.
Yeah.
And it was
did it matter what color the cop was?
That is my theory. They didn't address it, but I'm like, is that last third because it's a black cop?
Well, so there was black cops?
There was black cops.
And
there was black and white cops in this police department.
So
2/3 of the time they could tell.
They weren't saying that the difference tones were negative. It was just
it was just
mostly
different. It was sometimes it was negative. Yes.
Okay. But so what about so if a black cop interacted with a black guy,
that's what I don't know. That's what I don't know.
They didn't show that?
They didn't clarify if the outcome because that last
so clearly this is biased.
Yeah, because that last third,
I'm not a cop fan, But that sounds like a bias experiment.
That could be because they didn't.
That's biased as fuck.
They didn't explain what that third missing was. If it was black officers, if that third of the time.
I've been arrested by black cops. So
no, but I'm just saying they didn't explain who was that third that you couldn't tell if they were talking to a black person or a white person. What if it was a black cop in that situation?
So what were you seeing on the video? Just just their camera?
Yeah, just the camera. Well,
you see the suspect?
You wouldn't see it. They told you they.
So you see nothing. You just heard it.
You just heard it. You just heard it.
Gotcha.
And based on what they heard or even what they read, they could tell if it was black or white.
I mean, I get that, but because that's a very proven fact because it's biasm. I mean, that's just simple bias.
Yeah, exactly.
And fucking...
They were just doing it, and that was just...
But you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Biasm... Here's something. If you're a white dude who likes... Like, for example, you love hip-hop. You want to be immersed in hip-hop. You dress with hip-hop. You talk hip-hop, right? When you meet a black guy, you're going to be more hip-hop.
Yeah.
Trying to talk more like that with that guy, right?
Yeah.
Then, now, I've seen it to where... You talk more hip hop with this cat, but with the white guy, you talk more white.
Yeah.
Now, what the fuck is that about? Right? Is that? I mean, it's still biased,
it's just how
but it's not a
brain
bad
works.
bias,
No,
right?
no.
Or is it? Or is it? Because then it's like you're stereotyping this motherfucker.
You are,
right?
In a way.
In that way, so. Can bias ever be good?
But see, that was
I don't think so because I think you got to have an open mind regardless, and you just got to be who the fuck you are. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but they weren't saying the bias was necessarily bad. It was programmed in our head that we're going to be more comfortable in this way than this way. We have our own comfort zones. So maybe if he's talking hip hop, maybe it's just because he's more comfortable.
More comfortable like
he
that.
might be more comfortable.
Where the white guy, he might not be comfortable talking like that.
Because he might relate more to these people.
Right.
And that's what they were trying to say with bias.
Huh.
It was like that's how they know that the person isn't like them that they're talking to. They can tell just by how they address them.
Right.
But that was one thing that I learned. Another thing, this was wild. All right, this guy was blind. He couldn't see. And he couldn't see because...
But he could play pinball like a motherfucker. You ever heard that song by The Who?
Tommy? Pinball Wizard?
Yeah, Tommy, the deaf, dumb, and blind kid.
Yeah.
He could play a mean pinball machine.
Yeah, I think it's called Pinball Wizard or something like that.
I don't remember. It was called Tommy, I thought, right?
I don't know.
They made a movie about it, but there's a song about it, too.
But I don't believe this guy could play pinball.
He couldn't play pinball?
I don't think he could. But the weird thing was...
He wasn't that type of blind, Tom.
No. The part of his brain that registered vision was damaged, not his eyes. And they took him to a hallway, and the hallway had obstacles in it. And going back to our fast and slow thinking mind, his fast thinking mind, the message of the vision passes through your fast thinking mind to get to the processing one. He couldn't see the objects, but he avoided all of them as he went down the hallway. And it was because his fast-thinking mind registered them, but he couldn't see them.
So how would it register him, though?
I don't fucking know.
Because the eyes weren't damaged?
Because the eyes weren't damaged, yeah. It was just the processing part of the brain. So
Right.
when it went through his fast-thinking mind...
It stopped there.
It recognized it.
It recognized...
Yeah.
So it was like spider sense. It recognized that.
Yes.
But he just couldn't see it.
He couldn't see it.
Because it stopped here.
Yeah.
It stopped at that...
Yeah, at that one point.
Wow!
That's wild. I was like... And he didn't even know. They asked him afterwards, and he was like, I didn't dodge anything. I was just
walking.
I was just walking. But no, he went around everything.
Wow.
Because
he saw it without seeing it.
Exactly.
That is some fuck your mind shit, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, but I mean, if he recognized that, he would be powerful as fuck. He'd be like a fucking Jedi.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like Daredevil in a way.
Daredevil, yes! It's fucking Daredevil. I would if you could figure that out. Oh my god, that's incredible.
Exactly.
That's incredible.
That was a wild fact. And there was some more stuff that I listened to tonight that was along those same lines. Like this one guy, he got some...
What was this on?
It was on PBS.
I was on PBS, that's right.
Hacking the Human Mind.
Pubic bastard system. PBS.
This other one was kind of older.
Bitching system. Anyways, PBS, Public Broadcasting System.
This other one was kind of older, but it had these other situations where, like, they were learning how the mind works by finding people that had damaged parts.
Really?
So they would be like, this one guy was like, he would have these epileptic seizures, but it would give him this feeling of, like, after he was done and the aftermath of it, everything had such great significance to him. Like, he had this, like, religious revelation type deal where everything was like, oh, this is so great. Like, life is amazing. This bottle is the best, you know, type
and what happened
deal.
to him again?
He had some part, he would have epileptic seizures.
Oh, he had seizures.
Yeah. And then afterwards, after he would have those, he would be like that.
So you think he saw death?
I don't know.
During that time?
I don't know, but it was just like, there was this one guy, and they figured out that they had like there's a part of your brain that automatically like thinks and believes in like religion type stuff.
Automatically?
Yeah, it's like programmed into us.
Because it's so ancient.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that Bible times are so ancient.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's this part in our brain that just is drawn to like a religion type deal since it's been part of our culture for so long. And it would just do something there, and he'd be like, oh, this is so great. And he's like, I'm not a religious person. I've never been a religious person. But every time he'd have these seizures, he would have these like...
These sensational thoughts.
Yeah.
Wow. That does not sound as crazy as the guy who's blind.
I know.
The blind guy is amazing. That is fucking crazy. So the epileptic guy he just appreciated life.
It would be something like that. And they were like, what? He was like, I don't want that taken away from me. Like, it's such impactful after that happens.
So he wants to have seizures.
He wants to keep it now.
So he wants to keep having seizures.
Yeah, exactly.
So he could...
So
when the doctors say, doctor's like, you only have 200 more to go, and you're done. He's like 188. Like, I don't care, doc.
And I don't think he would.
Huh.
It was so valuable to him that feeling afterwards of
that is bizarre.
All that he wouldn't give it up.
So I mean, with that being said, though, that still doesn't mean like he was feeling that because he knew he was going to go somewhere.
No.
To me, it sounds like it's only because it's in his DNA.
Kind of like that.
Huh.
There was another one.
Fucking bizarre.
This is just as bizarre.
So, what was this program called you were watching?
This second one that I'm talking about.
So these are different shows?
This is only the second show we've talked about. The first facts that I gave you were all from the same episode.
So the blind guy and the epileptic guy are the same show? No.
Epileptic guy's new show. Blind guy.
Is it a series?
No.
It's just shows.
Different shows.
Just for the fuck of it, they got brain aneurysm shows on there, right?
No. This other one was about just, I guess, trying to figure out how the mind works. The first one was called...
So it was like a marathon you watched?
I watched 2 shows. That's it. They were both an hour long. They both had different stories.
Was it Nova?
The first one was Nova.
Was Nova?
I believe the first one was Nova.
Yeah.
Second one was not. Jeff Goldblum was the narrator. It? He was the narrator. You didn't see him, but you could tell it was him. That had to be
fucking terrible. You're like,
no, he doesn't.
This guy.
He doesn't.
This guy. Don't you know, Dr. Grant? There's no chaos theory here.
He doesn't do that. Gladly, he does not do that. But they had another guy on there that this is crazy as fuck. He was an amputee.
You remember that part of Jurassic Park when Jeff Goldblum was like, I gotta say it because it cracks me up. He's like,
is it the part where he's slamming on the table?
No, not that part.
Okay.
It's after he does the water thing on Ellie's hand. He's like,
okay, yeah, that's a real bad spot.
He's like, he does like some funky noise, like,
You're
Fucking
right,
Jeff
you're
Goldblum.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, he's like, then he gets eaten by a T-Rex. No, he just gets his leg fucked up. Anyways, go back. Jeff Goldblum is narrating this PBS special. Everybody's like, why is he doing that? That's what Jeff Goldblum sounds like in my head.
I think he's on to something. But anyways, that's the short. I'll say
It's part of it. It's part of the shit. Anyways,
I don't know if it can be.
I can't.
Anyways, this next one was pretty wild. It's on par with the other one. All right, there was an amputee. He had an accident, got his arm cut off. Come to find out later, like, he would shave and he'd be feeling these weird sensations. What happened was, like, every part of your body there's a map in your brain of your body, and it'll, like if I touch this,
it knows.
It senses and it knows it's from my hand.
What is it? The electrodes or electrons or whatever the fuck it is. Something electrical would like...
Yeah, and it goes up and it registers at a specific spot in your brain.
Right.
Well...
But you know what causes that, right? You have people up in there controlling it.
I know, right?
Inside out, bitch. Anyways, he had his arm cut off.
His arm was cut off. But the part that registers his face in his mind is right beside the hand spot, and it took it over. So every time he touched a certain spot on his face, it felt like his hand
was moving.
It was getting touched. No,
like it was getting touched.
Yeah, they called it his phantom arm.
Yeah,
because it would register in his brain
like it's getting touched. And there's nothing
but it
there.
was really his face.
Yeah,
because his face part had taken it over. Because they're right beside each other in your brain.
Well, I know, like, phantom arms, like, people say, like...
Yeah, you could feel the pain.
You could feel the pain, yeah.
It was wild. This other guy had the same thing where it felt like his hand was, like, super clenched and it was hurting. And what they did to help him relieve it was they made a mirror box and they put his hand in it.
Like Dune?
There's a mirror box in Dune?
Well, there's a thing that they put their hand in.
Well, he put his hand in it. And looking at the mirror, it looked like both of his hands were in there. And it tricked his mind, and it released it. So he was no longer having that pain of his hand being clenched super hard. Because his mind...
His mind thought
that both of his hands were moving.
Right.
And it tricked it into being all right.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So that people were just having these phantom...
So you know what that tells me? It tells me, like, everybody says that the human mind is so fascinating. To me, it sounds like the human mind is easily manipulated.
It can be.
That's crazy.
It can be.
That's why brainwashing's so easy.
Oh, man. You're probably right.
It has to be.
Why? Because you just trick it in a different way. And it's like, oh, okay.
Damn. That Manchurian candidate shit can be real.
Yeah, you're right. It can be.
That'd be fucking crazy. All of a sudden, trigger word, cotton candy. What?
All right.
Clack, clack! Yeah. Who wants cotton candy?
That'd be awful.
That'd be fucked up.
But
you had no idea you were killing someone.
I know, right?
I wonder if someone was brainwashed that. See, I wonder if you could brainwash someone's brain so powerful like that, would you see like your hand doing it? And like you're like, no! In your head, you're like, no, 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 bam, 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 bam. And it just keeps doing it. And then you're just doing...
Like you're a hostage in your own mind?
In your own mind. I wonder if that could be possible.
Sure.
I wonder if that was feels like. That'd be fucking crazy.
I mean, almost in a way, if you're sleepwalking, sometimes people see stuff like that.
That's true.
But you only remember it after you wake up.
Yeah.
But,
see, I don't remember sleepwalkings because I've done a lot of sleepwalkings through my life. Now I vaguely remember the teapots. I vaguely remember the teapots. Yeah. It's very vague.
Yeah, but it's still kind of a memory.
It's still, yeah, but I don't remember the other one.
The door, yeah.
I don't remember that one. But I remember. I remember one that. There's things I do remember because sometimes during dreams, I do become like conscious.
Yeah.
Like I realize what's happening, and then I'll wake up, and then eventually, once it's done, I like wake up, and I'm like, you were talking, you're asleep. Yeah. Like when I snore.
Yeah.
If I snore, I wake myself up, and I'm like, okay, I was snoring.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I've done the same
I don't
thing.
do that a lot, but I don't snore a lot. But
Yeah. But if it happens, it'll wake you up.
So that's trippy with the mind.
Yeah.
Because the mind's showing you like, hey, dum-dum,
Yeah.
you're making a lot of noise. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just been wild to think about.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The brain's fucking trippy.
It is.
It's
It is
fucking
crazy.
trippy.
And there's a lot more that I can't remember.
Because we're not brain surgeons.
Yeah. And it's just
But
crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah.
I
Anything I've ever seen or read about the human brain and just all the human body itself is incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have nothing else to add.
I don't either.
That's some crazy.
But that's some things that I saw on PBS shows. One was called Hacking the Human Mind, and the other was, I can't remember. I apologize.
It's whatever.
Jeff Goldblum on it.
Still. Yeah, he's got Jeff Goldblum. Jeff fucking Goldblum. Anyways, this was Drunken the Sun with Joe and Tom. Guess what? We're always on all those channels you see on our fucking shit.
Yeah.
So, check us out. Peace, y'all.
See ya.
Thanks for tuning in to Drunken the Sun. This is Joe and Tom.
Thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody. Like and subscribe.
Thank you all for subscribing and liking from Drunk on the Sun, the podcast about everything and anything under the sun.
So check us out on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Instagram. We're posting new shit every week.
See ya.